Tom Fornelli of CBS Sports came out with an article today entitled 5 Losing Teams That Can Surprise, like TCU with a 2023 National Championship appearance. So TCU, year before, they were 5-7. This year they get all the way to the national title game. Sonny Dykes, first-year coach. That's pretty amazing. It's an incredible story. Now, they got destroyed by Georgia, but still the fact that they made it all the way there is pretty, well, it's pretty impressive, and it's pretty lucky, and it kind of bugs me in a way. And it bugs me because, well, for a few things. Let's go through Nebraska first, what he says about Nebraska. He looks at Nebraska, and he says, you know, look at the Big Ten West. What do you got going on there? Look at the rest of the Big Ten West and tell me who the clear-cut favorite is. Wisconsin has a new coach and a new offense. Iowa is Iowa. Well, we shouldn't have to explain that. Purdue won the division, and its coach left. Jeff Brom went to Louisville. Illinois was a surprise in 2021, finishing 8-5, but lost 4 of its last 5 games. Northwestern is, I don't know what's going on in Northwestern. It's like they're just trying to field the football team, and I'm not sure if they're doing much else right now. But first of all, why would you do this story? Well, number one is content, just like this video. You know, it gives people something to talk about because we all love college football. But the second reason why you do this is because you can tell people later if you get it right. Like the chances that this happening are they're pretty small. Sonny Dykes, first-year coach, or a losing team churning into so good a team they make the national title game. It would be fantastic 2 years in a row. But you could tell people about it. In fact, if any of the 5 teams on this list make the national title game next year, Tom Fornelli is going to tell people about this the rest of his life. Remember when I got that right? Remember when I told you this would happen? Oh, yeah. Because that's what you do. You make a lot of predictions, and then you remind people of the ones you got right. Then they think you're a genius. Secondly, I mean, it's our job to create content. That's what we do. You know what he didn't mention there? He didn't mention Minnesota, and Minnesota has gone through a number of coaches. Coaches have left the program, gone to other places. They're not going through turmoil, I would say, more like turnover. What bothers me about this story is this. First of all, we're just at the beginning of a long, dark period in our lives that we call the off-season. And I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that we are going, look, I'm making a prediction, that we're going to see articles from Nebraska's media comparing TCU with their first-year coach, Sonny Dykes, to Nebraska. And there's the obvious implication there that we could turn things around in 1 year and have a great team. And you kind of look at Nebraska's media and you ask, what is their purpose? What do they do? Well, do they report the news? Well, they're supposed to. Questionable in the past few years if they've done that. Is their job to sell the program? It sure seems like it. That's why we get a whole off-season full of sugary-coated, Kool-Aid-y stories, and we call it drinking the Kool-Aid. The reason why I'm doing this video is to beware of this. Sonny Dykes turned that team around from a losing team as a first-year coach. That was pretty amazing. It's also a huge outlier. Like, it never happens. So when we're looking at this from Matt Rhule's perspective, the chances that Nebraska would do this are extremely small. I think we all know that. But if you feel like you're suddenly talking yourself into it, I want you to come back and watch this video where I tell you, no, its likelihood to happen is very tiny. It's small. I don't want to say it's infinitesimally small, because then you could beat me up if I got it wrong. But it's pretty small. Can Nebraska surprise things like this? Yeah, potentially. But I just look for us to have a winning record, get to a bowl game, and have a good first year for Matt Rhule. And then we can go from there. I'm John Johnston, CornNation. Please subscribe to this and like this video so more people will see it. Thank you for listening, and go Big Red.